right? You don't even need cable. You need an antenna and you can watch this show, or you can watch it on Peacock. So that's a large, large task. That is a devastating blow to AEW because they had already been dealing with declining issues when it comes to just getting people aware of All In Texas and getting people into the door and planning to buy a ticket to go to that. As a guy that lives about 4 hours away from Arlington, or excuse me, 6 hours away, you can make it in 5 if you go the speed limit. I consider going, but then again, it's it's a trip out there, and ticket prices are not cheap, right? And if you want to even remotely see the ring, you're going to have to pay a couple $100. So, and that's just the reality of pricing these days. I'm not even complaining about that. I went to a Dynamite event in February of 2024, and I actually paid more than my SmackDown tickets a few months later. But I digress. Getting the opportunity to go and hold an event in Texas at a baseball stadium was very ambitious to begin with. But it's more ambitious if you're going to try to go against head to head with WWE. It will be very interesting to see where WWE hosts this event. If it is anywhere near Texas, I am strongly considering moving this show because you cannot have 10,000 people in a baseball stadium. You cannot have 15,000 people in a baseball stadium. You can try to cover it, but it will sound horrific. I don't like the idea of shows in baseball stadiums. I don't like them with WWE. I don't like them with AEW. That's just me. If you're going to run a stadium, do a football stadium. Baseball stadiums are just weird in their configuration and how the sound is. I mean, in stadiums, you have to deal with the issue of sound going up and it just goes out of the roof or it just floats into the ether. It takes so long for the sound waves to bounce off the ceiling to get that big reaction when you're watching on TV. You do that in a baseball stadium, it sounds different than a football stadium, which is not the easiest task in the world. If WWE hosts this show in Texas, I'm moving the show if I'm AEW. I really, really am. I hope that AEW will be able to succeed. I hope that AEW will be able to book this show, hold this show, and draw phenomenal numbers with this show. But if we're being realistic, you have to be very, very weary of the prospect of this turning out well. It's just the reality of the situation. We will see how things unfold. But if I'm Tony Khan and I'm waking up to this news on Monday morning, I am not very happy whatsoever. And we'll see how he responds.